What's up, guys? We're here once again with Mike Chang, the man himself, and today he's going to tell you about the 3 keys to getting six-pack abs. So kick us off, what's the first key to getting abs?
The first key to getting six-pack abs is being consistent. And being consistent, there's a few things you have to do. The simplest way to be consistent is to have a very specific goal. And for example, either losing, let's say 10 pounds, or maybe dropping 2 inches off your abs or off your stomach, or it could be something to do with gaining more muscle or gaining more strength, maybe a certain amount of poundage, but be specific with it. The next thing you want to do is set up a structure to work out 5 days a week. 4 to 5 days a week would be more exact. And so be consistent on it, and just as long as you're doing that, that will be one of the most important keys, and that's why it's the first key to having six-pack abs. Have the goal, be consistent on it, and just make sure you make it to the gym or make it to doing your workouts if it's at home, no matter what it takes.
Yeah, most definitely. And that's something where a lot of guys who are struggling don't understand. They worry about all this complex stuff, but really, you got to get in there, 4 days a week, or else none of that stuff matters.
Right.
Can you give guys some tips if a guy's like struggling to work out consistently now? What are some ways you could improve that?
Some of the ways that are pretty easy to improve that would be just to go ahead and structure your workout times. If you want to work out in the mornings, find a time that's maybe before work. Wake up a little earlier if you're if you're a morning person. If you're like me, you don't really like to wake up too early, then work out at night, maybe after work. Here's the key though. I've worked out after work for many years now, and if you want to work out after work, make sure you go straight to the gym right after work, because a lot of times people stop by home and when you get home you want to relax, you might have fought through some traffic, you may have had a long day at work, and the likelihood of you leaving there and going to the gym or doing anything other than relaxing is unlikely. So make sure you go straight there if you want to work out after work. But being consistent, easiest thing to do is just structure the time to work out. I think the second thing would be what we talk about always, which is just shorten your workouts a little. If you can get in and you can do 45 minutes, cool. But if you only have 30 minutes, or if you're a little tired, just go work out for 10 minutes or 20 minutes. It may sound kind of short, but trust me, it's better than not doing anything at all.
Yeah, and I remember some of the workouts you've put clients through where it's just like 10 minutes, and guys don't believe you can get a lot done in 10 minutes, but you've really showed me that in 10 minutes you can get way more done than most people do in an hour. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Great. So those are some good tips right there. What is the second key to getting six-pack abs?
The second key to getting six-pack abs is prepping your meals. Making sure that that your meals are already prepared for you, because think about it. Most people eat about 3 times a day, average, sometimes up to about 4. So if you don't have your meals prepped, then every time before you eat, you have to go ahead and make a good decision on what you eat. Because if not, you'll end up making bad choices, and you'll end up eating something you shouldn't, and that's going to jeopardize your chances of losing your body fat and getting abs. So make sure you prep your meals. So this way, the decision is made for you ready. You have 3 to 4 meals per day already prepped. All you have to do is just heat them up and eat them. That's it. So you don't have to worry about thinking about what to eat every day.
Yeah, I think this is like one of the very, very most important keys, because what I've learned from you is that we don't really have as much willpower about eating as we think. Like, I know me and you, if there's like chips and stuff around, we're probably going to eat it. But it's just not here. That choice isn't open. Like, by prepping your meals, it's so important, because once you've done that, you will eat the meal, so you've ensured you're going to eat healthy for the whole week.
Right, exactly.
So it's so key. What would you say, obviously we can't go in depth into the whole zero willpower system in this, but what are some tips for guys to kind of like start with that habit, maybe like just the basics of that?
Well, the zero willpower eating system is something myself and Dan created. And just like the name of it, zero willpower, it's pretty much what we're talking about, making sure you just take the willpower out of it. And some of the easy tips to go into that would be to go ahead and prep your meals, 3 to 4 of them a day, and make sure that your portion size are not very large. Most likely your portion size should be about a fist to about a fist and a half as far as a total meal. If it sounds like it's a little small versus what you're eating right now, that could be a pretty good reason why you haven't got to the six-pack abs yet, because you're not supposed to eat until you get full. And that's the thing, is like people are like, they're eating, oh, I'm not full, let's order something else, or let's eat the rest of the stuff on my plate. you're supposed to eat until you're not hungry. So there's a very big difference between eating until you're full and eating until you're hungry. If you're eating until you're full, it's like going to the buffet every day, even if you're not at the buffet, So, make sure that your portion sizes are good, and the foods should be pretty simple. Have your protein, have your carbs, and have your veggies, and every meal should consist of the three. There's a lot more details on how to cook it, which proteins are good and which ones are a little more fatty, and we don't have time to get into all of that right now, but definitely those are some of the key points, and in the Zero Willpower Eating System, we'll explain all of that in there too.
Yeah, most definitely. And one of the biggest things you taught me too is that you got to keep your meals pretty simple too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they get all into it. They're like, I'm going to make my Swedish health meatballs and like all this complex stuff. And, that goes for a week and then it's done and it's over. But
exactly.
The Zero Willpower System is so simple, so it's good.
Yeah, when simple, it's really easy to keep up with.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, great. So what would you say is the third key to getting six-pack abs?
The third key, and really probably also one of the most important ones, is believing in yourself that you can actually have a six-pack abs. Me and Dan, we talk to a lot of people. We interact with, with a lot of actually YouTube viewers like yourselves, and we find that a lot of people aren't just asking questions on how to get six-pack abs, but they're really telling us that, that it's almost like it's not possible for them. They're asking us more of it. Is it possible for us to get six-pack abs? Maybe, for example, I had somebody go ahead and message me, and we kind of went back and forth, and pretty much, this person, his family, was pretty much overweight, and so him growing up, he was a chubby kid, and he's never had anything close to abs. I mean, he was almost obese throughout most of his life, and even though he really wants abs, he really doesn't believe he can get it. And the problem with this, guys, is if you don't believe you can get it, you're not going to try. If you don't try, you're not going to get it. I'm not going to say that, that everybody is genetically blessed. You can look at fitness models, and they have really good genetics, and their muscle builders seem to be all perfect, right? But having six-pack abs have nothing to do with genetics. Because, guys, you have to remember, having six-pack abs, all it means is that your body fat on your body is low enough to your muscles are defined in your midsection, so your abs look like they're chiseled out. That has nothing to do with genetics. Genetics may play on what your abs look like once you get lean, but as far as having abs or having your body fat low enough, anybody can have it. Just as long as you're doing the right things. Making sure you be consistent on your workouts, 4 to 5 a week. Prep your meals so this way you're eating right, and if you do those, but it's a fact that you're going to drop your body fat to be that low to where your abs are going to show. So just make sure you understand that and just believe it, and you can do it. And to make this long story short, the guy that we went back and forth and I had this conversation, after he tried the program and he went through the whole entire program, and you know what? He didn't have six-pack abs at the end of it, but his stomach was completely flat, and he did send me some pictures, and it was a really dramatic improvement. He had a really lot of belly fat before, it really kind of hung over, and his abs were flat by the time he was done. He's actually going through the program again, and I believe in him this time that he is going to get those six-pack abs. It's just taking him a little longer, but he's going to do it. So guys, really believe in yourself, because just as long as you do, you're going to reach that goal. Yeah,
most definitely. That's so key. That was one thing I didn't realize for a while too, because I thought genetics were much more important than they actually are. But what I realized is that a lot of the times where someone is saying I can't get six-pack abs because of genetics, they're using that as an excuse basically. What's happening is they're not doing the right stuff. They don't want to admit that to themselves, but so they say I'm doing all the right stuff, but just because of my genetics, I'm unlucky and I can't get it.
Right. And sometimes they just don't know that they're not doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
So, but those are the 3 keys for getting six-pack abs: being consistent and prepping your meals so you're going to eat right, and also believe in yourself that you're going to reach it so you don't give up. More workout tips and nutrition, check out sixpackshortcuts.com, and we'll see you guys next time.